Why is a caste census even important in a country like ours? I want to give you a broader perspective drawing from my own experience. When I was applying for a postgraduate course in mass communication in Jamia Millia Islamia, I was told that there are 36 seats for the masters in mass communication, and you would actually only have to compete for 18 of those seats. Why? Because the rest of the 18 are under reservation. 9 of those seats are for the internal Jamia Millia Islamia students, and the rest of the 9 seats are for the various other reserve categories. That was my first brush with the issue of caste and with the issue of reservation. All of us, many of us who have grown in this country, who've studied in this country, who've applied for jobs in this country, have had to face it at some point or the other. To some, maybe it was an advantage if you actually come under one of those categories where you are given a certain privilege, a certain advantage, and to many others, it has made life more difficult. I was obviously in the second category, even though I managed to make it to the cut among those 18 students from across India who qualified, among thousands of students. So that is how difficult it gets for people who do not have that one particular caste certificate in their hand. Let me just then put this in perspective with what is happening in Parliament now. Why is it that the opposition is demanding a caste census to be done in this country? We cannot look at this issue without looking at the political reasons why this might be necessary. It is a known fact that parties depend on certain caste equations, certain communities for their vote bank. No political party is immune to it. But why is it that the opposition is now more hell-bent on getting a caste census done? Why is Rahul Gandhi championing this cause with that sort of passion for a party that was in power for over 4 decades? A caste census could have been done. The last census, of course, was done for 2011. Data is available with the government of India. That's the most interesting part. In fact, the SECC data that we know of the caste data of 130 crore Indians, is available with the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Yet this data has not been revealed. This is a very curious case of why such a thing is happening. I am, of course, referring to the socio-economic caste census data, which is available with the government, but it is not being disclosed. The reason for this that we are being told officially is because there are anomalies in the data. And I am going to cite one such anomaly that is being spoken about. Take the instance of Maharashtra. Now, what we are given to understand that in Maharashtra, the existing SC, ST and OBC categories as per government records are only 494. But in the 2011 caste census, there were 428,677 caste groups. Apparently, this has happened because there were errors while recording the caste data. There were spelling errors, there were duplication and things like that. And therefore, this data has not been made public. Apparently, it is not reliable, and therefore it has lost its credibility to be publishable for public consumption. Now comes the issue of why is it that the opposition parties are asking for it. One issue clearly is for political reasons. There could be political compulsions where you want to be seen as championing the cause of certain communities. You want to be championing the cause of the OBC and therefore appropriate that vote bank. That is a very obvious reason, but that should apply to the other side as well. The problem here is that this is a country where getting a caste census done would be an extremely tedious process. As I just cited, this process was done, and what it has yielded is now not publishable. That just shows that if it is done all over again, what is to guarantee that we will be actually successful in getting a smooth caste census done? My point of view on this entire matter is this: it is time we rise above caste identities. It is time we stop talking about, or we stop identifying a person with the family that he comes from, the community that he comes from. Very idealistic to say this. The ground realities, no doubt, are different. The ugly spat of words in Parliament, the way the discourse has stooped to this level where you have one leader saying that we will get caste census done, come what may, watch it out, challenging the ruling government. The other leader saying, from the BJP, saying, what right do you have to even raise issue of a caste census. We don't know your caste yet. That has now provoked a huge debate. Anurag Thakur of the BJP is being accused of asking for the caste of Rahul Gandhi, who, according to him, has no right to bring up the caste issue because there is ambiguity around his caste. People are now saying that this is unconstitutional. This should not have been done. In fact, listen to what Akhilesh Yadav said in this regard. He is also giving a context on why parties like him are asking for caste reservations.
आपने जाति कैसे पूछ ली ये बताइए बस. आप जाति कैसे पूछ सकते हैं?
So beyond this, my humble submission in this entire matter is this. This is 2024. We need to rise above caste considerations, but the reality in this country is very different. The reason the opposition is now clamoring for this caste census can also be because if this data is revealed, there will be a very clear picture of which are the privileges being granted, already granted, to communities where the socio-economic parameters have now changed. So one needs to take a relook at policy, a relook at reservation, and that is only possible if you have a clear picture of what the caste groupings are like. I mean, the last time the census was done was 1931, which revealed 50% of the population are OBC, the other backward caste. What if that has changed? Because 1931 was a time when Pakistan, Bangladesh and India was one country. How can you go with that figure? So leaders like Nitish Kumar, leaders like Rahul Gandhi, leaders like Akhilesh Yadav argue that this is necessary to redefine, take a relook at the reservation policy. It is undoubtedly going to open a Pandora's box, and therefore there is no surprise that this is being taken with utmost seriousness, and the government of the day is treading cautiously. There's no other reason why the BJP has been so non-committal on this issue. It is going to open out a Pandora's box. It is going to challenge the existing system of reservation, and for all you know, that could lead to a lot of chaos.